It's the Thursday night warm-up. Green flag in the air. Frank Flood going to lead him to turn one. Frank Flood down the backstretch with the lead. They're 2 and 3 wide farther back. Quickly into second comes Sokol into 24. Cars pushing and shoving. Everybody keeps it going. We're clean through lap number 1. Flood with the lead. Down on the bottom, it's Colby Sokol trying to make a move. Into third place comes Jeffrey Newell in car number 12. Then Brian Carver in 41. 77, Robbie Smith. Frank Flood now down to the bottom lane, trying to block off Sokol. Sokol on the move, then comes Jeffrey Newell. Brian Carver, Robbie Smith. Behind him, the 24 of Grayson Springer. 28, Shelby Hinton. And Cole Kirkman on the move, alongside Ron Dennis with Stone Sharp behind him. Flood still the lead. A spin, and this time Stone Sharp is involved in it. Cole Kirkman goes around. Todd Kirkman involved. Connor Wolf in 0. Stone Sharp in 29. Up front, Frank Flood, Colby Sokol, Brian Carver, Jeffrey Newell, Grayson Springer, and Robbie Smith, the top 6. Charging down the backstretch, Flood and Sokol. Carver down on the bottom. Frank Flood, Colby Sokol down the inside. Had to cut it a little too hard. Flood still with the lead, but Sokol on the move. Brian Carver charges up on the bottom. Brian Carver slides up the inside, tries to take Colby Sokol for second place. Grayson Springer in 4th. Jeffrey Newell loses a spot back into 5th. Brian Carver puts a nose ahead of Colby Sokol. Brian Carver 2nd. And now the 2 heavyweights to slug it out up front, Frank Flood and Brian Carver. Sokol staying welded to the top. Meanwhile, the rest of the top 4 go to the bottom. Here's Grayson Springer in the mix in the black and red 24. We're 3 wide out of 2 for second place. Sokol on the top, trying to drive around Brian Carver, and Colby Sokol drives back into second place. The top coming alive again, and here comes Colby Sokol coming up after Frank Flood. 9 to go for Frank Flood and Colby Sokol. 1 car in the fence up the front stretch keeps it going. Close call for Camden Winter. Frank Flood leads over Colby Sokol. It was half a second last time by. Flood still the lead. Now 2 cars get tangled up around 3 and 4. It's the 9. The 9 car of Brad Sutton and also the number 11 of Jet Hayes. Flood down the backstretch. Colby Sokol in second. Down on the bottom comes Brian Carver. 7 to go. Flood back to the top. Throws the block on Sokol. Carver still 3rd. Then comes the 24 of Grayson Springer. The 77 of Robbie Smith. The 28 of Shelby Hinton. The 12 of Jeffrey Newell. Stone Sharp up against the fence all the way down the front stretch. No harm, no foul, keep going. Flood with the lead, 5 to go. Here's Sokol again, trying around the top. Sokol, crossover move. Slide job to 1 and 2. Flood drives back past. Here's Sokol again to 3 and 4. Down at the bottom, not far enough along this time. Flood leads. Brian Carver going to try to take advantage. Colby Sokol tucks in behind Frank Flood again, down the backstretch. Gonna be 3 to go. Couple of more shots at the leader if he can get there. Now Flood, a big bobble off of 4. Carver on the bottom. Sokol still there. Little gap back to Grayson Springer and Robbie Smith. Frank Flood up top. Car doesn't look happy. On the bottom comes Brian Carver. Carver on the bottom. Flood back around the top. Sokol in the 3rd. Now Flood back to the inside. Coming around, 1 to go. Flood trying to hold on. Contact with Carver. Sokol around the top. Frank Flood, Colby Sokol, Brian Carver. Who's it going to be for $1,000 in the 3 and 4? Flood on the bottom. Sokol around the top. To the finish, it's Frank Flood. Frank Flood with a Hail Mary move up to the outside.